SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Upstone versus the World show, the show we do every week where we talk to Doug Upstone about the articles that he writes for SBR Forum concerning the upcoming week in the NFL. We just got finished discussing his value plays for Week 13. Now we're going to hear the 3 games that he recommends we avoid altogether. Doug Upstone, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, Peter, my pleasure to be back. And I have 3 games to stay away from like turkey gravy that's been left out overnight from the refrigerator.
All right, this sounds good. I feel like there should be some way that we judge you here, but how can we judge you on games that you recommend no one make a pick on? Maybe I should say whether I agree with you, and then we judge me or something like that. And maybe
either that or we can look at the spread too. I mean, take the spread, and if it's off by a certain amount, maybe that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. All right, we'll worry about that in a week or so. Right now, let's hear game to avoid number 1.
Number 1 is Jacksonville versus Cleveland. Now, with Brandon Whedon being like a bad cold who will not go away, he's getting his 3rd shot of the season to be a starting quarterback in Cleveland. Jacksonville quarterback Chad Henne led his team to his 2nd victory in 3 weeks. But let's be honest, nobody is backing up the Brinks truck to offer this former Michigan quarterback anything more than a backup spot. With 2 offenses who struggle to execute properly and are mistake-prone, it would seem to be a challenge to use this AFC contest with one of your sports picks this week.
All right, see, here's why I think we need some way to grade you, because I actually kind of disagree with you. I previewed the game with Troy West. We both agreed that, everything you said is true, but in that situation, giving Jacksonville 7 points might have some value. So we both like Jacksonville plus 7, but maybe in the end you'll be right that it's a game to avoid. All right, game to avoid number 2 in the NFL Week 13.
Game to avoid number 2 is Arizona versus Philadelphia. Now, both the Arizona and Philadelphia are in top form, with the Cardinals on a stunning 4-game winning streak and the Eagles soaring with a bunch of W's and covers. The Cardinals' offense is not going to remind anybody of the vintage New England teams early in the century, but it's a dramatic improvement from last season and even an upgrade from earlier this year. And their stop troops are number 7 in the NFL in total defense. Now, Philadelphia has rebounded from a 2-game offensive slump against the Cowboys and Giants, and with Nick Foles operating Chip Kelly's offense very effectively. Quietly, the Philadelphia defense has gotten to the point of conceding just 17.4 points a game in their last 7 outings. Here we have 2 teams that are really, I think, running at near peak efficiency, which makes this for a rugged call on either the favorite or the underdog.
Yeah, I can see that, Doug Upstone. I did preview the game with Shark Harris, and he made a decent argument for the over 48.5, but that also feels like it's going to be public play, although sometimes the public does win with those obvious overs. But I see why you would want to avoid that game completely. Definitely agree with you on that one. All right, game to avoid number 3. What is it?
Number 3, Atlanta versus Buffalo. Now, several years ago, Peter, the Buffalo ownership, when they saw all those empty seats every year at the end of the season, they decided to reward their loyal fans from Canada with a home game in Toronto. The novelty quickly wore off, and so Buffalo management thought they would throw out a goodwill gesture and schedule Atlanta for a trip to the Great North this week. As luck would have it, they have failed, and Atlanta this season has turned into the Bills of the South at 2-9. Now, the Bills are actually a favorite coming off a bye week, but after their 37-14 romp over the Jets, they are 0-7 against the spread off an upset win as an underdog the last 3 years. Much like leftover pumpkin pie, it might be time to sit this one out.
All right, yeah, well, you might have something there, Doug Upstone. I previewed that game with Scott Kellen, a guy I very much respect, and, I thought that the under might be a good play in that one, and the under has cashed most of the time in those Rodgers games in recent years. But Scott Kellen said he liked the over, and he made a compelling case for it. And then we both kind of agreed that we liked Buffalo, -3, but he wouldn't go out on a limb and say that was going to be a pick for him. So maybe in the end, the best thing is to just avoid it. I feel like I'm still leaning Buffalo on that one, but this might be a situation where I should probably take your advice and just stay off completely. All right, thanks so much, Doug Upstone. That is our Upstone versus the World show for NFL Week 13. Great call as always, and we'll talk to you again next week.